first thing you do.
Okay.
And then there is no way you can carry out such a project without looking at templates from other nations that have nuclear power stations.
Right.
Because when you look at the after effect of not doing this thing, you now ask yourself, am I doing the right thing? You and I know that nuclear accident is always very disastrous. If you look at what happened at Chernobyl, Chernobyl nuclear power disaster, that of Russia,
right,
you will now know that for you to do such a thing, you must be very careful. More so when you don't have the manpower, because I'm sure, except they train the manpower, you may not have the manpower to sustain such a project. So Kenya have to be very careful.
It's interesting you mentioned manpower, Barrister, because as it stands, it's a long-term project of about $3.8 billion that would lap to 2034. So that, of course, would supersede the present administration of the likes of William Ruto. But looking at these kind of projects, some have said across Africa, you see projects that are abandoned after one administration leaves office. Is that the sustainability of holding this project to the very end on the part of the political elites, particularly in Kenya, because that's the country in focus?
That has been the problem of Africa. It has been the major problem of Africa. That is why Ajokuta is still lying moribund. Our own, the biggest iron and steel complex in the whole world. The biggest, still lying there. Because of what? Lack of political will to carry on from where the last administration stopped. You can see. So this thing now that they are talking about in Kenya, is it for political reason? Or what? Just opposing with what is going on in Uganda, where they told us that a refinery is coming up in 2029.
Right.
You understand? So these African leaders, they are not too futuristic. Very, very selfish in their approach. They know that they don't have the willpower to sustain some of the people, but they put it there to gain political advantage. The moment they get what they are looking for, they abandon the project. They abandon it. And the next person may find it difficult because there is no sustainable plan to continue that project. No sustainable plan.
But Barrister, looking at this kind of conversation, I like that you mentioned the Ajokuta Steel Company and, of course, the part of non-sustainability on this project because of political will. Is there the possibility, really, that there are no sustainable plan, or it is just about political will? Plus, you've been around for a while. There was a documentary that a former military chief from Russia did say that what you can find in that particular steel company can build the biggest bulletproof fighter jet in the world.
Of course.
Now, what would you attribute to the non-continuity of these kind of projects?
Brother, you see, when some of us criticize Africa and African leaders, these are the reasons. I don't know how God will bless us with people who are not forward-looking. But they can go abroad and buy all the bulletproof hardwares. Meanwhile, you have the raw materials at your backyard to produce the same thing. They will not do anything about it. Rather, they will prefer finished product, finished with their own raw material from their own country, from another country.
Exporting it back into the country.
Exactly, David. Was it not here that before Dangote came, we were refining our crude oil somewhere in Europe? Then after refining, we now import it, our own crude oil. There is something about Africa. I don't even want to go into it. Each time issues like this come up, it pains me. Seriously, it pains me that God has given you so much, yet you are lacking so much. God has given you so much, yet you are lacking so. Do you know that Nigeria is supposed to be leading the entire African nation, African continent, when it comes to technology? With what we have. With what we have. If we dominate Africa, at least supply all our product to African nations, look at where we would have been. Look at where we would have been. But look at us.
Barrister,
of Africa.
Barrister, again, I asked this question because when the present administration, and again, I'm bringing it back to Nigeria, when the present administration did say we're going to continue from where our predecessors stopped, one would think that the rail project that the Muhammadu Buhari did, of course, kick-started, would have been carefully followed, which again would have aided good transportation across Nigeria. From your own perspective, Barrister, why do you think that project did not see follow and continuation?
They are going on with it, but without sincerity. Like the one that started from Kano to Maradi, what is the economic benefit to Nigeria? Now that Buhari is no more around, did he even enjoy that thing for one day? Because he never visited Niger. He never stayed there when he left office. But he was siphoning and taking funds to Niger, claiming that his cousins are from there. At the end of the day, we did not benefit one single benefit from all that Buhari invested in Niger. Because the junta that took over stopped anybody from coming into Niger. And so Buhari never entered there. So what is the benefit? Nothing. Meanwhile, there are many regions in Nigeria that have not benefited from rail transport. That thing he did from Kano to Maradi, what is the benefit now? Nobody can tell. You can see. That is why it is very difficult most times to begin to rationalize what is in the mind of Nigerian leaders whenever they are doing something. Very difficult. You look at some of the things that you ask yourself, what was this man thinking when he did this type of thing? And you know why they will not continue? The money the new person supposed to benefit from that project have been taken away by the contractor. So he will find it difficult to continue with that contract because there is nothing for him. Have you seen it? There is nothing for him. Yes. The contractor would have been paid up front and all that, all the money taken and all that. So the new person, when they come, instead of continuing, say, they are taking all the money. So they will abandon it.
Which again brings us to accountability, Barrister. This story from Kenya states that the project is going to cost billions of dollars, about 3.8 billion. Yeah. And you mentioned now that in terms of funding, there is no accountability because the former administration will stay. We have sent this particular figure to the contractors. But again, the present administration would earmark another amount for the same project, which again leads us to the path of accountability. Barrister, if we're going to talk about accountability, where lies the position of the legislatures within the African continent and, of course, the states in Africa?
They are part of the they are part of the cabal that is siphoning the money in each country. That is, remember when they used to revolted in Kenya, the lawmakers were jumping away from the chamber through the window. The lawmakers of Kenya were they not going into hiding? Because they were the one approving whatever Ruto was doing. That's the truth. The executive cannot do anything without the legislature backing them up when it comes to mismanagement of funds. Because it is their responsibility to do oversight function. It is their responsibility to checkmate the executive. That was the intention of those who founded democracy. So that each arm of government will be checkmated by the other.
Right.
But here, 90%, in fact, 95% of the time, the executive control the other two, the judiciary and the legislature. 95% of the time, that's what happened. They pocket them because when they collect this money, they make sure that the legislature gets, the judiciary gets, and so everybody is happy. Then the people now suffer. Nigeria is a typical example. When the three arms of government are on the same page, when it comes to matter like this, it is the people that suffer.
In fact, Barrister, to put it out there, the Kano-Kaduna rail line, that's Kano-Maradi rail line, linking the Niger Republic axis, the present administration has allocated 100 billion naira and, of course, expanded that project. So, looking at the figures that the former administration did earmark for that same project, one would want to wonder, in the path of accountability, Why is the executive clearly not being vocal? But you've mentioned earlier that because practically they're in bed together. Then, Barrister, the question now bears to mind. Where lies the people in the mix of all of this?
You don't matter. In African politics, the only time you matter is when they want your vote. And when they collect it, they abandon you. Serially, they repeat this because they know you are helpless. Whenever the only time you are needed is during election, they campaign and ask for your vote, promising you will not ask yourself, come on, this thing that this man is promising me now, is it not what he promised me last time, which he did not fulfill? And he's coming again to repeat the same thing. Don't worry, election will start now in Nigeria, campaign will start, maybe by next year, towards the ending of next year. The same thing this APC promised Nigerians in 2023, Abi, they are going to repeat it in 2026. Count down to 2027. And Nigerians will surrender.
But then, Barrister, the government, the present administration in Nigeria has said that they are presently having a stable economy as against what they inherited before now. Should Nigerians be giving them a bit of breathing space to get to real work?
No, count me out. Oh. You see that propaganda, they will never deceive me until they take us to where they met us in 2015. I will not even listen to them.
Is that even possible, Barry?
Well, but it was possible then. It was possible. No, an administration was in place as at the time they took over with all the lies and propaganda. And Nigerians are not asking them, come on, you told us that PDP was the devil. You lied to us and told us all manner of against PDP. How come you have not improved on what PDP did? This is a question. In fact, these people are lucky I'm not among them. Oh. You can't play such pranks on me now. What are you telling me that stable economy? That we were number 1 in Africa before you took over. Now we are number 4. And you said that, what is stable economy? No, is that not a pointer? The people that are now number 1, number 2, number 3 in Africa, how did they get there? Was it not good governance? Was it not proper management of resources that brought them to where they are?
But shouldn't we give it to this present administration for what is called steadying the ship from where they met it before now?
Oh my God. David, how many times did I call you? Come, if you put your house on fire for whatever reason, and then when you run out of the house, you now come back and see your house burning. I say, I made a mistake. You now started putting out the fire. Should I congratulate you? Hold on. If you put out the fire you set in your house, will I congratulate you that yes, you have done well, or you come and have a handshake? I will not do that too. Because you are the one that caused the problem. If you correct it, why should I praise you? Answer me. Why should I praise you? Was it not APC to APC? Was it not APC to APC?
But the individuals are different, Barrister.
No. It is their manifesto. It is that thing they told us that, in fact, they are the one that manufactured democracy. They are the master strategists. They know more than God. All those propaganda that some of you bought that time, and some of us refuse to buy, is not manifesting. But Barrister, and you want me to congratulate them?
Barrister, what exactly are you calling propaganda? The fact that the debt service ratio have reduced from 97% to 50%, is that clearly what you call propaganda, or something that should at least be appreciated from Nigerians? Isn't that what it is?
Who raised it to where it was? When they came into office, where was our debt ratio? You can see the same thing we are saying here. It is the problem you created. If you correct it, I will not congratulate you until APC return us to where they met us in 2015. I say, count me out. I will never celebrate them. Pure ED. They can deceive everybody in Nigeria, not me. Me alone, I'm able to stand alone on this matter. Because it is because Nigerians have bought all their propaganda. That's why they feel that they are wiser than everybody. Why are you not asking them? You said the fuel subsidy was a scam. Under your watch now, what is it? No, under your watch, what is it now? If it was a scam under PDP, in your own case now, it is a fraud. Because we have not seen anything different. We have not.
But Barrister, I bet to differ on that because the governors are receiving more allocations now.
That is what we are told. Are you seeing the dividends?
Look, should we be talking to the presidency on this and not the state governments?
You are told that they are getting more money.
Yes.
Please, what was the inflation rate under PDP? What was the inflation rate?
But there's been
you gave me something with the right hand and inflation took it with the left hand. Inflation you created, though. You created this inflation. So why should I celebrate you?
There's been some level of economic meltdown globally, not just Nigeria. Isn't that something that should be considered as well when, of course, we're talking about inflation?
Come, the economy of the whole world melted and your children are running to that place. Your kids and kids are running to that place for soccer. No, are you not here when Donald Trump is even saying you don't want to see you? He's deporting some of you. Why are you running there if the economy is bad? Hold on. There is no meltdown anywhere. It is your own economy that melted down. Because your leaders don't know what to do. That's the truth. It is your economy that melted down. Count the outside world away from this thing you are saying. How can you be going to where there is trouble? The economy is bad and you are going there. It is your own economy that is bad because your leaders mismanage your funds. They mismanage your resources. Even South Africa here, we are running there. These are the people we released yesterday from apartheid. They are now ahead of us.
Oh, well, Barrister.
They are now number one in Africa.
I like that you mentioned South Africa, and it's going to take us to the next conversation where, interestingly, President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, is planning to join world leaders in Brussels on Thursday for the European Union's Global Getaway Forum, where, of course, he's expected to clearly push for deeper trade and, of course, inclusivity and investment on the part of his country. So it also means that the president of South Africa is also aiming to get more help from the EU. So should we, at this point, say that, yes, South Africa also is facing their own situation economically because, again, Donald Trump's high tariff is part of what Cyril Ramaphosa is trying so hard to making sure that his trade in his country is balanced well enough.
I want to ask you a question. Which country would you want to do business with in Africa today? Is it South Africa or Nigeria? Sincerely speaking. What is the megawatts in South Africa today in terms of electricity supply and that of Nigeria? What is the population of South Africa and that of Nigeria? What is the level of security in South Africa and Nigeria? You mean investors will not compare this thing before looking for where to invest? All the while you have been traveling all over the place, from Buhari to Tinubu now. Did any investor come? That they are leaving. You mean those investors, they don't want to make money, Abi? No, tell me, they don't want to make money. My dear, I get them before, no be property. We have lost it. It will take angel of God to come and repair here.
But Barrister, again, I want to come back to this part of this conversation where the president on his Independence Day broadcast did say that the country has gotten to that point where we would start gaining from all of the policies made. Shouldn't we be hopeful that at least, like, of course, the presidency did say, steadying the ship is where we are at presently?
David, please, if somebody or a political party is known to be telling lies and propaganda just to gain power and all that, do you think when they now get the power, they're not telling you the truth? Is it not lies and propaganda that APC is known for that brought them to power? So why do you think they will stop now? Now that they have run the country aground,
but Barrister,
they will continue to sustain that lies and propaganda in order to sustain their power, their road to power. That's what they are known for. The thing they told you during Independence Week, is it what is on ground? All the things they told you that have achieved, could you see any of them? Especially insecurity. David, I ask you here, if you swore to protect life and property during your oath of office, and you have not achieved that, Please, what other progress are you talking about? Can you achieve anything in a state of insecurity where bandits are not sharing power with the government? Where government is now hobnobbing and dining and whining with bandits and terrorists.
But then again, Barrister, is the president not vocal on the part of insecurity? Because he did say that he's given several marching orders to his security chiefs. So isn't that something one should hold onto? Because the president did say something about it as well.
Well, like I asked you, what you told you is what is on ground. David, if your property is missing, and you want to find that property, are you going to tell the person that stole the property to help you on a search party to recover it? You know you will never see that property. Those who brought the terrorists here, do you think they will have the temerity, the willpower to confront them and say, yeah, go back? It is not doing business with you. Can they do that? That is why these guys are so arrogant and so bold. Because the people that brought them are still in power.
But then again, Barrister, the war with terrorists and the bandits at this point are not the conventional war like we are being told by military operatives, isn't it?
They told you, Abi. Okay, how come it is only your country in West Africa that these guys have found succor? It is only in Nigeria that terrorists can operate, 7 of them.
But there are also terrorists in other African countries, Barrister.
To this level, Abi? Mention the place.
There is the part of the DRC where cities are being taken over by terrorists, Barrister.
Hold on, no. That of DRC, you don't want to go there because it is the mineral resources that is causing problem. In this case, in our own case here, some people from Nigeria invited them for what? Political power. That is the genesis of this matter. Except to confront the truth, we will never find solution to it. That is the truth. Some people went outside there and bring them inside this place. In that of DR Congo, it is mineral resources. And because of the weak government in there, do you want to compare notes with that particular government and that of Nigeria? Do you want to compare notes? Look at the two of them now. This thing started with the politics in Nigeria. It was never there. In that of DR Congo, it started as far back as 1927. When these mineral resources were discovered. So how do you want to compare notes? It is only because when you go to hospital and you are saying you are not feeling well, the doctor will tell you, go and do tests, go and run a test in the lab. It is the outcome of that test in the lab that will determine what the doctor will now recommend as a cure. Now, but in the case of Nigeria now, they have refused to identify the problem. So how can you solve it?
Now, Barrister, another question that comes to mind while you were talking is the fact that the president has stayed confident with his service chiefs. In other words, practically they are doing well enough to have gained that confidence. Is there the possibility that the president is not fully aware of the security challenges that is bedeviled Nigeria? Is that a possibility?
No, he knows everything.
You think he does?
He knows everything. In fact, he told you he will continue where Barr stopped. And he has been doing it.
Isn't that statement on the path of progressiveness? You think it's on the path of real progressiveness?
How can you say it was progress when you are not complaining that Buhari practically destroyed this country? Hey, God Almighty. No, tell me, are you not the one lamenting that you met a very bankrupt economy? So, and you took over from that man. And you said you will continue where it. Look at the contradiction, double speak. David, the double speak contradiction. Is it not APC that is lamenting that they met a very bankrupt economy, this and that? Who did they take over from?
Barrister, again, I would want to continue this conversation, but because of our time, really. But what comes to mind while you were talking is, why do you think there's not been prosecutions after prosecutions of the previous administration by this administration? If, again, like you said earlier, the economy of the nation was made bankrupt by the previous administration?
Because they are the ones that brought about this problem. So solving it, they are finding it difficult. How can they prosecute those they invited? David, is it not a fact that these people that are disturbing us here, they were invited by some people? Is it not a fact?
When you say they are invited, Barrister, how do you mean?
Oh, how do I mean?
Yes.
People like Kawu Baraje, El-Rufai, and even Buhari were here when they did what they did. They brought these people for political power. Armed them, thinking that Jonathan will not hand over so that they will unleash mayhem. Unfortunately, Jonathan disappointed them. And then the guy they brought in, they can no longer ask them to go back. They are now insisting that they want the soul and sovereignty of Nigeria. That is what is at stake here.
Oh, well, Barrister, these are, well, because of time, I wanted you to chime in on a sentence, particularly on the part of former Senegalese President Macky Sall, saying that he is desirous of a united Africa after leaving office.
You see, go and ask Kwame Nkrumah who preaches and what happened. They should leave that Africa. We can never be united though. Leave that, it can never happen because you have been balkanized by world powers. They will not allow you to unite. Because all the countries in Africa, they are colonial extensions. All the world powers, they have colonies here. How would they allow you to unite? What happened to what they are getting from you? It's not possible. The only time it can be possible is if you are truly independent. What you are suffering now is neo-colonialism. No African state is independent here. Apart from a few, maybe South Africa. But it's limited because of the white men there. That's all. If Nigeria cannot be truly independent with all it has and the population, then which other African country are you talking about? Which other? It's not possible. So let him keep quiet.
All right then, but this is where we have to draw.